Hi there, welcome to Om Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things I've been up to this week and catch up a little bit, and then we're going to be coloring today because I really need to take some time to color. I've not had a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my tea here, and then we will get started. All right, so like I said, I've not had very much time at all to do any coloring this week. I did get just a tiny little bit more done in this book. I've done the little skunk, her fur. So like I said, this is going to be a full color along on the channel. I'm sorry it's taking so long. It's just, this timing has not been great. But yeah, so that's where we're at on that color along. I have a buddy color in Hidden Earth that I started, and it's this one. So I got to do a little bit of the shading on this. I'm not loving how the shading's going, so I might switch pencils and try something a little bit different. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what I don't like what I've done with those. I might have to erase that and start again. I thought I would do, like, you know, sometimes leaves have pink in the middle, but it just looks like muddy and not great. So I think I might redo those ones. But like I've shaded all the leaves. They look fine. I don't need them to be like super perfect detailed, but I want the animals to look pretty good. And like the big flower, I wanted that to look nice, which I feel like I'm going to come in and add in some Posca highlights and stuff to that. But yeah, this leaf just kind of threw me off, and I was grumpy. But yeah, so I was working on this while I was waiting for my dad to get out of surgery. So that's part of why I've not had any time this week. But yeah, so there's that. I have also done, which I posted this on Instagram, so you guys might have seen it if you saw my stories. I started this page. I really like the way that it's going. I found a cute inspiration image and then just kind of based my colors off of that so far. Again, just using Albrecht Dürer. And yeah, I think that that's going to be really cute. I like that. I like the way that this owl is turning out. I think I'm going to add in maybe some glaze pen on the eye, some black glaze. And then maybe just a few more Posca dots like on the wings, a little bit more details on the wings with some Posca. This owl will probably be colored similarly, but I'm not sure how I want to do that one yet. But these owls are so beautiful, and I just wanted something fun and different. So when I saw this color palette, I was like, yeah, that's fun. So that's where I'm at on that one. And then I just recently received the Wondrous Folk book, and it was sitting next to me when I was trying to wind down for the day. So I have started this. Now she looks a little crazy right now, but I think her skin tone down here is looking nice. I feel like she needs to be blended a little bit more. I'm using Pablo's, which I've not ever really done for skin before. So yeah, but this is what we've got so far, and I think that that's nice. Yeah, I might try to blend it a little bit more with some other, I don't know, something else. Because I did try to use my Caran d'Ache blender, and it just hasn't blended as much as I thought it did. I was working upstairs, so I didn't have nearly this much light, but yeah, so that's where I'm at with this. I just wanted to see if I could do something with the Pablo's, and so that's what I've done. Christine Caron books or pages are always, I just think they're so stunningly beautiful, and then when I go to color them, I just feel like I'm not doing something right. So I don't know, I'll keep playing with it, but I'm not enjoying the process right now, and I don't know if that's just me or if it's actually, you know, the artwork or what it is. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. Oh, I did one more thing. Just a tiny little bit in Magical Worlds. I went ahead and used some white gouache on the moth. So I'll be able to come in here with some pencils and you know, highlight the areas that I want, kind of make the other areas fade into the background. It doesn't completely cover the lines, but it mutes them enough that I can then add my own spin on it. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this done, and my poor buddies who colored this with me will be able to finally get that posted. Yeah, so let me figure out what I want to work on. Okay, I think I'm going to work in Small World Coloring. This is by Ursula Schwab. I did get this book used, so if you are looking for this one, you'll have to search like eBay and places like that. But here is the ISBN number if you're interested. It is an older book, but I love it. It's just a neat kind of book, but I need to work on some stuff. So I'm going to try to work on, I think, on some of the greenery here with you guys while we chat. All right, I'm going to try to use my Shuttle Art pencils because I've not used these in a while. Or I did actually use them not too long ago, but I wanted to try them on this paper. So yeah, so I'm just going to try that out. So hi everyone. How do I want to shade this? It is early Friday morning for me. I am filming this so that I can make sure to get this out to you guys. I have not been able to do anything related to coloring very much at all this week, which I kind of showed you. I mean, you kind of could tell from the amount of nothingness that I got done this week. So my dad had surgery, and so I've been helping him out a lot. The little bit that I was able to color, I did some of that at the hospital, and gosh darn it. I hate when that happens. What am I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. And try to add this color in too. So yeah, I got a little bit done at the hospital, not a ton, but since then I've been at his house helping him out, and he's doing much better today. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to go over today, but he's doing well. I had then my youngest had to stay home sick, so she only had 3 days of school, and then she missed 3 days because she had a fever for 3 days, and then super sore throat. And, you know, of course, it's just like all the crud and stuff from going back to school. But, you know, you're not supposed to, you know, I didn't want her to spread that stuff around. And, so she missed quite a bit of school. So she's trying to catch up to that. And she's not freaking out yet, but I'm worried that that's going to happen at some point here soon. But she seems to be doing okay so far. And then last night was back to school night, so I had to go for that. I just feel like I've just had no time this week to do anything. Which I don't mind because, you know, I'm helping my dad. He needs it. I'm taking care of my kiddo. But yeah, it was a not coloring week for sure. So I did little bits of pieces here and there when I could, but for the most part, it was not happening for me. So, yeah, I'm going to be trying to finish up that darn color along. Like I said, I know I've been saying for ages that I was going to get it done this week. I'm going to get it done this week. And then just life happens, you know? So as far as I know, I don't have any big plans next week. So I should be able to try to focus on that. So I'm not sure if I like these pencils on this paper or if I just wasn't sure how to shade these trees. I don't know which one it is. It's all right. I'm also having everybody over for D&D tonight, so I'm kind of trying to get the house clean in between all of this stuff, and it's just been a week. And I started feeling bad one day, but it ended up just being my period kicking my butt. Which those keep getting worse and worse, and I'm just about done. I'm ready to be done. Like, I know that's going to cause all kinds of issues with hormones and whatnot, but I'm tired of it now. Like, it's over. I'm not having any more kids. Just be done. Anyway, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Sorry that all started off really like gloomy and whatever. I'm also a little sleepy this morning still, so I tend to be a little more whiny when I'm kind of tired. But hopefully that'll switch around. If I don't like this tree, I'm going to switch pages. I'm just letting you know that now, because I don't want to color something that's going to make me grumpy if I'm already a little grumpy to begin with. Coloring's supposed to make you happy. Let's see. What have I been watching? I did check out Kira's newest video. So she's got another coloring vlog up, and I can't remember what the other one was. I thought she had 2 videos come out recently. But from A Pictured Purpose. Sorry if you didn't know who Kira was. Anytime a video pops up from her, it's like an automatic watch for me. Like if I go into YouTube and her video pops up, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. She's just like a little ray of sunshine, it seems like. And I mean, I know that not everybody feels like that 100% of the time, but her videos do, I think, do something a little bit different because there's a face with the content. And I know a couple of other colorists here and there have been trying to, or have been talking about, doing a face reveal and all that stuff. I don't see myself ever doing something like that. Like, I don't mind, like, showing pictures of myself, but I'm already nervous enough to just sit and talk. Like, if I know that you can see my face while I'm doing it, I don't know that that's gonna work for me. But kudos for sure to anyone who can. Like, I'm in awe of the people that do that. I have been seeing, I don't know if it's just my feed, but I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up about, one of them was about like AI coloring books the other day. I think it was Chloe Rose art, maybe. And then I didn't watch this one though. I saw another one that was talking about how TikTok is ruining coloring because, it's like a overconsumption, gotta have all the things kind of medium. And so they feel like people are just like buying stuff to buy stuff, and then the people who, I don't really know what the video was about, but I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from. Like, I do feel like TikTok is kind of, it just pushes stuff at you, and then, or I assume it does. I don't actually have TikTok. I just see TikToks that people then transfer over onto Instagram. That's really the only time I see TikToks. Okay, I don't love that tree, so we're going to skip to something else because I don't feel like getting frustrated today. So let me find another thing to work on. Okay, I'm going to work on this one a little bit. I have the colors that I used for the basing already there, so I'm going to just grab the colors here because I feel like this underside is similar enough, like in texture and stuff, that it should have the same kind of coloring done here. I don't really know what I want to do a whole lot with this. Let's go through the yellow. Let's do a yellow. I just know I want this base layer on here so that when I come in with my pencils that I have that little bit to work with, and I can make sure that I get nice bright colors down. Okay, so I feel like I'm missing some spots in a couple of these, so let's keep going with that. We're gonna do a little bit of yellow here, a little bit of blue, a little bit of orange. I don't want to do too much orange because I feel like a lot of that is orange. I really like this page. I'm hoping that it turns out the way that I'm seeing it in my head right now. Oh, I missed a little bit over here, and then I'm gonna do these two mushrooms down there. I did have some people tell me what these were. So these are lace mushrooms, I guess, which is kind of just crazy to think that they just are out there in the world. I don't really know what I want to do with those yet, though. That's the only iffy thing. So yeah, I'm not really done a whole lot. I've been reading a little bit of the new Accomplice to the Apprentice is out. So I've been reading that. I've been listening to Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I don't really, and I mean, not that much else, to be honest. Okay, let's see let's pick some fun colors for mushrooms down here. I feel like these mushrooms are the same. They have kind of the same stalk. So I feel like these mushrooms down here should all be the same color. I feel like that one should be too, but it's not, I don't feel like it's quite the right thing there. And then these mushrooms and these two, and then these ones and all of those. And then this one should be separate. Okay, I'm going to try to go with some orange color stuff down here, like orangey yellow maybe. I just don't want the mushrooms to have the same color as the background. So like over here, we could do like bright, or like maybe on like these ones, we could do like a brighter pink. That would be kind of cool. So let me see what I got here. I'm going to try the shuttle art again. Maybe it was the pencils and not that. Let's try working on this mushroom down here, and we'll see what we can do. I think like I said, I'm going to do some oranges and some yellows. Okay, we're going to try these. I'm going to see how this goes. I haven't colored in this book with just these pencils yet, so I don't know if any of you have the shuttle art, but I don't mind them. Like, I feel like they're all right pencils, especially, you know, with the budget brand that they are. I feel like it's a pretty good deal. You get a ton of colors. I think I have I want to say the 160 set. They feel similar to like a Prismacolor. No. Absolutely not. That is not the right. I was trying to say Crayola, but they have a little bit more pigment. But I don't mind them. Especially if I'm wanting like super bright kind of colors. I feel like some of the, like, I like that like the wings and a couple of these mushrooms are going to have that bright color underneath, but then I want some of the other mushrooms to be bright on the top and then not as colorful underneath. Does that make sense? I hope so. We'll do a little bit of pink on this one. That's going to still kind of come out a little orangey, but that's okay. I might grab my neon pink for my Prismacolor and see what I can get color-wise there. Add a little bit more orange. Finish that off with the yellow. It's definitely going to be a super colorful page. Okay, I don't hate that. Let me grab my neon pink. I don't use my neons very often, but this is the one I use more than I have used more than the others. I don't use like the orange or the yellow hardly at all. I don't really like that layered over the Shuttle Art one though. The Shuttle Art one definitely did a better job of layering. It's definitely almost coming off as like a red, so maybe I should have started with the pink. So I'm going to erase some of the color that I've got on here. Try that again. We're going to start with this. I'm going to start with the Shuttle Art pink first. And then we'll blend that into the other colors. You probably can't even see that. It's so small. Let me zoom in. Okay, there we go. Hope that is looking nice for you guys. Yeah, I don't really have a ton going on. Like I said, it's just been taking care of my dad and taking care of my sick kiddo and then taking care of myself, and it's just been a week. But yeah, I'm gonna try to take today for me. I've got, like I said, cleaning to do, but I'm gonna get that done, and then I'm gonna just enjoy my night. I think that's the big plan here. What do we think of that? I think that looks all right. I'm gonna use the same color combo over here on the tops of these ones, but I wanna make sure that the pink isn't touching any of the pink of the background. So we're gonna start with some pink in the middle of this one. And then kind of move into the oranges and the yellows. Sorry. I did, while I was taking care of my dad, I did get to watch some movies that I had never seen before, or actually one movie that I saw a long time ago when I was little, and some movies that I had never seen. So one of them was, my dad loves to watch movies. He just sits and watches movies a lot when he's not at work. So he, when I got there the first day, he was watching the Little Rascals movie, or put it on specifically so that I could watch it, because I feel like he thought that I had watched it and really loved it when I was a kid or something. But so we watched that, and I realized how crazy and kind of messed up the movie is. Did have some laugh out loud parts still, but I was just watching it going, what am I watching? Why? What is happening right now? But he enjoyed kind of sitting with me and watching that. So of course I'm just going to let him do it. And then, one day this week, we also watched, the second Aquaman movie, which is a lot. I mean, it's nice to look at the, the fighting and stuff was cool. Some of the dialogue could have been a little bit better, but it is what it is. It's an Aquaman movie. So, but yeah, it was fun. There's a couple of funny scenes in that one too. And then we watched, I only watched a little bit of this because it came on as I was getting ready to leave, but there's this movie called Strays. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's basically like a live action animal movie, like with like dogs and some dogs. I don't know if we kind of came into it in the middle of the movie. I don't know if they like banded together and decided they were going to be strays, or if they all ran away from home, or what exactly happened. But I came into it, and it's like live action dogs, but they all have actors doing their voices. So Will Ferrell is one of them. Jamie Foxx is one. And then I can't remember who the other two, but there's like 4 main dogs. And they're just, it was just kind of like ridiculous. Just a silly, kind of disturbingly gross movie on a couple of spots. And my dad just thought it was hysterical, so. But thankfully, that one had already started when when we popped onto it, and then I had to go, so. But he's just funny. He just likes things that are entertaining. He doesn't, he'll sometimes sit and watch like war movies or things like that, but he doesn't like to watch a lot of movies that make him cry. He likes things that make him laugh or that have action in them. Okay, let me grab another color combo. Actually, I'm just going to do some shading on the rocks. I know that's not super exciting for you, but I'm not sure what other color combos I'm wanting to do yet. So let me do that. All right, for now, we're going to use these two and see how that goes. I forgot there's a little knight down here too, so I can color him too. Let's see, what else? Yeah, like, not a lot else, guys. I'm sorry that I'm not more interesting today. I do, like I said, as far as I know, I don't have anything planned major for next week. So I will get those videos out. I want to make sure that I do the Wild Summer one as well. And I'm going to get those done hopefully earlier this month. So I'm not trying to race the clock at the end of the month to get those done. Okay, I don't hate that, but I want to add some fun colors in there too. So I don't want to color the whole thing with color. I'm going to use this lighter gray to blend that out a little bit. But then I can come in with different fun colors, like some of the oranges or yellows or some blues, depending on what colors I'm using elsewhere to add some interest to the rocks. And it doesn't have to coincide with like what's around it. Like I don't have to just use pink ones on this set. Well, maybe I should. As I'm saying that, I'm like, well, maybe I should use pink on this, like the sides that would be facing these mushrooms, because like, I don't know. No, I think I'm just going to grab different colors. So let's just do some pink because that's fun. So for that, I'm just going to add a little bit into some of the highlighted areas using a really light touch. And then I'm going to grab this orange too and just add a tiny bit. You can go right next to it. You can go in a different spot, but then that way that just kind of gives you a fun, instead of just gray rock, you get that little bit of extra color. I think that's a fun touch. And then I'm going to go over that with a really light gray and just kind of blend all that together. There we go. Those are going to be my rocks. Super exciting, right? Let me try it with this one here. These little moss sections too, I'm trying to decide if I want those to be green or if I want them to be like funky colors, since everything else is going to be kind of different. And ooh, these tips keep snapping right off. I did get a new, I think I showed you this last week, but I got a new AFMAT electric sharpener for down here. And it does kind of sharpen things to a nice point. Maybe I should change the point on that. There is, I think I can, yeah. So let's see if what that does. It doesn't make it quite as sharp, but it's still pretty sharp. So maybe that's the way to go. Let's see. I don't like the darker color first. I think I'm going to stick with this silver gray is what it's called, 137. It's like a bluish gray. Anyway, so next or this month, hopefully next week, I will be getting those videos out to you guys. And yeah, I'm hoping that I have some time this weekend. Again, I don't know, besides tonight, what else I have planned for the weekend. My husband usually reminds me, but I haven't talked to him about it yet, so I think that I'm okay, but oh, I need to add some color to that one. Let's add some yellow in this one. I can probably come in and add like some blues and greens here soon too, because I'll have, so the mushrooms, all of these blue mushrooms and like the wings and stuff are all going to be similar to this. So that's kind of where all my color palette inspiration is coming from. So hopefully it turns out, because I did really enjoy that image and I was just like, this is gonna look so cool. But you know, sometimes when you have an idea, the page turns out just like you thought it would, and other times you're like, what is happening? So I did recently get, so of course I got sucked in by like viral, you know, videos of things. I saw this popcorn popper thing, and so I ordered it, and the popcorn turned out really good. It's very tasty. But then I was like, why am I spending $40 or whatever it was on popcorn? Like, I just make popcorn in your microwave like you would normally do it. But I like the little bowl. I'm a sucker for like a little kit of things, and it had the whole shebang was included. So I got to try out different flavored popcorns too. But do you guys get like that? Do you get sucked in by the ads? I feel like I am their ideal customer, or the ideal person that they're, you know, aiming for when they're doing the advertisements. Because I see something and then I'm just like, oh yeah, I would like that. Like my brain, it's like I forget that there's popcorn until I see somebody eating popcorn. I'm like, oh yeah, I like popcorn. I want that. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing or if that's just a me thing, but every time a commercial comes on and I see like somebody, especially with food, like food is real bad. It's real bad for me with food. But my husband's always like, what is wrong with you? He's just like, you are an advertiser's dream, Erica. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so I went online and ordered that popcorn thing. And I've at least eaten the popcorn, you know, but who knows after I'm done with it if it's just going to sit for forever and not ever see the light of day like so many other little fun, you know. I've got to have that kind of invention things go. Okay, I'm going to grab some blues because I don't want just pinks and oranges in there. like a turquoise and a green and a blue, light blue. So hopefully those ones will add some difference. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't look crazy for you guys. Also, I don't know what is in the air, but my allergies are kicking my butt. Like, my nose is so itchy. I just want to like scratch it off my face. It's real bad. And if I take anything with an antihistamine in it, it immediately puts me to sleep. And I don't have time for that right now. So I'm just going to have to try not to scratch my nose off my face. Frustrating. Now I know it looks like I'm using a lot of colors on top of my alcohol markers too, but while that might be the case, I'm not having to push hard, and I'm not, so that's, you know, I'm not having to do multiple layers of things. So it's kind of helpful. I mean, that's the biggest reason why it's helpful. That's why I do the base layers here, because I don't want to have to use too much pressure, because it's just gonna end up hurting my hand, and I don't want to do that. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's what the rocks are gonna look like. So I've got some fancy mushrooms and some rocks. I don't know if I want to do this one with the same blue. I feel like it's growing out of the same spot, but it's shaped differently than all the other mushrooms, like these ones. So, okay, so I've got lots of crystals here too. I'm going to try to do the crystals in like one color kind of thing. So let's grab, I'm just going to do like a couple of blues. So I like this Shuttle Art set too, because you have so many different shades of like in a color family that you can just go to town with colors. I'm not going to do anything fancy with these. These crystals, I'm just going to add in color where I can, and hopefully that will read crystal-like enough. I do like to come in with my white gel pen a lot of the times and add in some dots and lines and things to change up the look of the crystals. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit darker color in like the areas where Joseph has added in extra shading, and then I'm going to just add in a few lines of my own here and there. Like this one's kind of hidden behind this night, so you're not going to see a ton of that anyway. But you can kind of extend the color a little bit and make it look like it's streaking places. And then of course, I'm going to go over that with my white. Ooh. Maybe I'm pushing too hard lately. I mean, I guess I could come in with just a few little bit of pink. Maybe the highlights in some of my crystals will be pink if it's not got pink in it. That might be okay. So there's just a tiny little bit of pink in there now too. Blend that in again with my white. That doesn't look bad. All right, just to kind of get an idea what that's going to look like. All right, so there's one of my crystals too. Let me just finish off this little stem. So mushroom stems are usually like whites, creams, grays. It's kind of hard for me sometimes with these guys. I don't want to use that color. I was about to pick up my pink, but I don't want pink there. I might do some pink over on the other side of the page, but for this one, I think maybe oranges would be a good way to go. So I'm just going to use a little bit of orange in a couple of spots and then do maybe like a cream and a pink. No, cream and a white. No, I don't know. Let's see if I can erase any of the pink that's on this. Not really. Oops. Okay, I'm going to try this gray. See if that kind of helps. It does. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of gray into some of the darker areas where things overlap. I could also use a blue. Let me grab a blue. I feel like a blue might be a good, yeah. Sometimes when you get like indigo blue, like the indigo blue in the Prismacolor and the Polychromos, those ones are usually good shading colors for me. I just like the way it looks. Instead of using gray all the time. I just feel like sometimes the gray kind of just mutes everything and the blue just adds, I don't know, the blue adds something. Okay. All right, I like that. Actually going to do a little bit of blue underneath the to create the shadows on top of the mushroom too. Okay. All right, so that looks cool. I like that. I will add just a few little dots here and there. Yeah, I'll do the same with this. This Posca is super juicy. Let's go ahead and do my few little dots for my rocks. I just kind of, just barely add a few. It's not... Sometimes I don't do it, but other times I'm like, yep, I want some there. So I do want a little bit right here, but I don't want just like 2 dots. I want like a little bit of highlight. So this is really the only part left that I'm worried about. So maybe I should do it like a turquoisey kind of green color with some yellow mixed in. Let's see what that looks like. So we're going to start with this one. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but the cicadas in our city have been crazy. And if you don't have cicadas where you live, like, it's crazy how loud these things get, these bugs. It's nuts. My husband took a picture of one the other day, so I'll see if I can get him to send it to me so I can show you kind of what it looks like. But all right, I'm going to use this aqua green and see if I can darken up the shadows a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's green, but it's an okay green, I think. Okay, so there's my little corner of what the rest of the page is going to look like. The rocks are all going to look like that. The crystals are going to be a mix of different colors with maybe a little bit of pink thrown in. We're going to have bright, colorful mushrooms, and like the underbelly like this is going to be bright as well on a couple of mushrooms. So yeah, that's what this page is going to be. Still don't know what I'm doing with these, but I'll figure it out. So that's going to be it for me today. Sorry, this was rambly and a little whiny at the beginning, but I'm going to get over it. I'm going to get better. I already feel better because I was able to sit and be creative and color. So So yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will